Admirals versus Yonko. Who are the superior of the two? Are the Yonko definitively stronger than the Admirals? Are the Admirals just an overconfident group of individuals destined for failure? The answer to these questions might be different than you think. But first, if you're a fan of my videos, give this one a like and subscribe to my channel. It's absolutely free to you and helps me tremendously. Also, don't forget to hit the noti bell to stay up to date with my content. Now, let's get into the video. I'll answer the first question immediately. Who are the superior of the two, Yonko and Admirals? The answer? The Yonko. That much is clear. Oda has shown on multiple occasions that the Yonko are to be feared and not messed with. Green Bull even stated that he would never have gone to Wano if Kaido had still been there. But are the Yonko untouchable for the Marines? Is there something the Admirals can do that nearly guarantees that they will acquire a W over any of the Yonko? What if I told you the Admirals have one particular advantage over the Yonko? Now, I want to say expressively that this is not a power scaling video. Feel free to power scale in the comments below. In fact, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the matter. But with this video, I plan to look into the real-world strengths of the Admirals, not if Akainu can defeat Shanks, because, come on, he can't. Or can he? Nah, I doubt it. I'm just messing around. But I do want to start this discussion by saying the Admirals should not be underrated. There must be a reason why the Admirals have shown tremendous confidence in their abilities throughout the series. We saw the previous three Admirals engaging Whitebeard without fear, and I'll admit, he was old and sick, but he was still Whitebeard. Akainu single-handedly confronted the newly empowered Blackbeard alone directly after Marineford. Kizaru requested to confront Kaido and Big Mom after they announced their alliance. And remember, the only reason Akainu rejected the missions was because the samurai were an unknown force. Even recently, Green Bull went into enemy territory, all to take on the new Yonko, Luffy. Of course, he left after Shanks made an appearance, but not before implying it simply wasn't the right time to face the Yonko, not that he was afraid to do it. Now, either the Admirals grossly overestimate themselves, or they know something we do not about their abilities. Speaking of their abilities, maybe they aren't so arrogant, because out of all the groups in One Piece, the Admirals have the greatest collection of completely busted and overpowered devil fruits. Excluding Fujitora, each Admiral possesses an extremely powerful Logia devil fruit, with Fujitora's being a very powerful Paramecia fruit. We know at least Akainu's fruit is awakened, as his and Aokiji's battle changed the entire landscape of Punk Hazard permanently. And can we talk about that battle for a second? They fought for 10 days. 10. Going all out with their devil fruit powers and changing the entire island. That's pretty OP. We have yet to see two top tiers fight all out for 10 full days. It might be the longest single battle in all of One Piece. Of all the devil fruits introduced in the series, the fruits held by the Admirals are some of the most destructive ever revealed by Oda, with Akainu's confirmed to be the most destructive. It should also be noted that all of the Admirals possess Haki, and the original three Admirals possess advanced forms of armament Haki, and perhaps even future sight in the case of Aokiji, as he was able to maneuver his body around Whitebeard's Haki-clad Bicento. Their abilities are not to be taken lightly, and it's no surprise that they would be confident in taking anyone on. Second, the Admirals employ a simple strategy that the Yonko, for the most part, fail to ever employ, and that is teamwork. Admirals are known to go two at a time when encountering a serious threat. Garp and Sengoku when facing Roger or Shiki, Akainu and Aokiji during Ohara, even Fujitora and Green Bull teamed up against the revolutionary surprise attack at Marineford. Feel free to discuss the outcome of that battle in the comments below, because I'm sure you will have a lot of opinions on that one. Now, imagine if all four Yonko ever teamed up. Two were enough to put the Marines on edge, and we saw firsthand what two Yonko can do in Onigashima. Imagine if Whitebeard, Kaido, Big Mom, and Shanks teamed up to face the Marines at the Summit War in Marineford. Who could ever stop them? Of course, this will forever remain a pipe dream, as the Yonko are as much rivals with each other as they are enemies to the Marines. But the main and final advantage that gives the Admirals an edge over the Yonko are military tactics. The Yonko are powerhouses, yes, and because of that, they have a tendency to charge ahead without restraint or planning. Even a future emperor like Luffy possesses the same brash personality. This is due to very little things existing that are able to stop a Yonko. The Admirals, however, are a unified group under the world government. They plan ahead and prepare, far less likely to take unnecessary risk. We witnessed during the Summit War that the Admirals use cunning to deceive and betray, even causing loyal underlings of the Yonko to lose faith and turn their swords against their leaders. This actually gives them a greater strength than the Yonko. If the Admirals ever made a serious attempt to defeat a Yonko, it wouldn't be a haphazard intrusion into their territory. It would be a thoroughly executed plan. And before anyone says those tactics during Marineford were due to the genius mind of Sengoku, Admiral Akainu has shown that he is far more shrewd and cautious since becoming Fleet Admiral. And I'm confident in this final arc, we're going to see more tactics being executed by the Marines and the Admirals. Before I go, let me pass on some food for thought. During the Summit War at Marineford, not a single pirate on the great Yonko Whitebeard's side was able to reach Ace. Not Whitebeard, not Marco, not the commanders, not any of the allied pirates. Luffy was able to strictly because he encountered Garp on the bridge headed to the platform. If that had been any other admiral, Luffy would have died. Think about that. The three admirals did not allow a single pirate to reach the execution platform. To add to this, Whitebeard nor any commander were even able to reach Sengoku. Now, if we go by the logic that Whitebeard and Sengoku were the two generals of the armies, all three admirals were able to at some point during the battle clash with Whitebeard, with Akainu and Kizaru severely injuring the Yonko. However, no one could do the same on the Yonko's crew and injure or even clash with Sengoku. Now, I know Whitebeard was sick, and if he was in his prime, the battle would have been different. But that would also mean Garp and Sengoku would also be in their prime. So I think we can agree that the outcome of the battle would have most likely been the same, prime Whitebeard or not. That being said, I don't believe Marineford is the best for any type of power scaling because it's before Haki was fleshed out by Oda and Yonko weren't sending conqueror waves from miles away to paralyze enemies. However, as we saw during the Summit War, a single Yonko cannot hope to topple the combined strength of three admirals. I wholeheartedly believe that if one admiral fought one Yonko, the victor will be the Yonko, 9 out of 10. With a level of difficulty, of course. However, if two admirals were to fight a single Yonko, I don't believe the Yonko was going to win that fight, and I don't believe it would be an extremely difficult fight for the two admirals. I'll end with this. We've seen the full strength and power of two Yonko, in Kaido and Big Mom. Their powers are absolutely terrifying. However, the Admirals have yet to go all out. I hope in the coming arcs, we get to see the strength of the current Admirals in the battles to come. As Fleet Admiral Akainu put it, I don't care where they try to hit us. We'll fire back on all fronts. I've been the Blank Face, and I'll see you in the next one.